Well, Derek, welcome to East End Park. Nice to see you back here again.
Thank you, it's wonderful to be back.
Is this the first time you've been back since you left as a player?
I came back and played part of Andy Todd's testimonial, but apart from that it will be, yes. I've been well travelled since, so yeah, first time back.
Yeah, one or two different changes around and maybe some familiar faces.
Yes, there will be, I'm sure, and I'm looking forward to catching up with them.
When you came to Dunfermline, you were signed by Jimmy Collingwood in 2002, but you were previously down at Wigan, so how did the move come about?
I was out of contract at Wigan, and I was wondering what was next. Jimmy invited me up to spend a week at the end of my last season at Wigan, and that week went well, and then he asked me to sign, so I had a kind of decision to make, and I felt that I think this was a good opportunity for me at that time in my career to come back north, and the club was on a high and going places, and I thought it was a good opportunity to come and join something that I thought was going to be successful.
Mm-hmm. At that time, Marco Rutenbeek was in goal, but during that season Marco was injured, I think, and you came in and then stayed in goal for the remainder of the season. Yeah,
no, when I signed, Jimmy promised that, look, if you're doing the business, then great, and I saw the challenge. Marco was an established goalkeeper here and a very good goalkeeper, but I had enough belief in my ability to come, and when I got my chance, Marco did. He failed a fitness test. I remember it before the Hearts game. I came in and I played. I think Hearts at that time, they were possibly top of the league around about that time, and we had a good result against them. I think we either drew 0-0 or won 1-0, and I stayed in for the next 3 years.
Yeah, you did. Yes. Your first game though was against Cowdenbeath at Central Park.
That's right. Yeah. Yes. That was an interesting one. That was a League Cup tie, so a derby, and of course the derby was last week here again, wasn't it? So yeah, my memories of Central Park before then were East Reserve League for Aberdeen when I was about 18 and 19. So coming back and playing, it hadn't changed any in all that time either. But
still not changed.
No.
That season well, in fact, when you came, what did you think? Because during pre-season you went to New Zealand, Holland and Lewis.
Did we go to Lewis as well? My goodness, I forgot about that part. Somehow New Zealand and Holland, with a stopover in Los Angeles on the way, it sits me more in the memory than Lewis does. But I think that was, it just brought home to me where Jimmy was taking the club, how professional it was, the lengths we were going to, how meticulously pre-season had been planned, and it reinforced for me that I'd made the right decision to come.
That season we finished 5th in the league, but there was a bit of probably controversy at the end of the season, because that was the
Was that the first season, was it?
Yeah, when Rangers and Celtic were going for the title, and there was a bit of a fallout afterwards, so which put a bit of a damper on maybe the results, because you played in that game against Rangers, didn't you?
Yeah, it was. I mean, people still talk to me about that game now when I meet colleagues, and I now work back in Scotland and meet colleagues and say, "Did you play in that game?" And then they'll have a view on it, which is totally unrepresentative of how it went. I mean, Celtic had a great season that season. They were just back from, I think, the UEFA Cup final on the Wednesday night to then play the decider, as it was, down in Kilmarnock. We were at Ibrox, and it was quite a surreal day. The place was excitable, to say the least, and then Jason scored that cracking goal. I mean, looking back, I looked at it recently. Scott McNichol put a clip on Facebook, and I saw it. I don't think I'd even seen it since. I thought, how did I actually do that day? And I was looking closely at the goals, thinking, no, I don't think there's much you could have done about any of them. And I think everyone would say the same. Rangers were just, it felt, they were going to do whatever it took. The message was coming from Rugby Park into the stands, and you could see them lifting a gear again. And I mean, I think everyone that played for us that day has an absolutely clear conscience, that's for sure. And if you'd been a fly in the wall afterward in the dressing room, there was a few raised voices, because some of the things that happened, the penalty that they got, they were given a back pass. I remember Jimmy Nicholl and I having a bit of a discussion about Gus McPherson passed it back using his knee, so that's fine. I picked it up, and Stuart McDougall, in his wisdom, gave a free kick in the box to Rangers, which is ridiculous. It's the wrong decision. And Jimmy's view was that was putting us under pressure. I should just have kicked it out of the park. And of course, I'm expecting the referee to apply the rules. So we were incredibly disappointed that because people still look at it as a bad result for us that helped Rangers to win the league, whereas we were, I think every one of us was hoping the opposite. We wanted to be the party poopers that day. It didn't work out.
And then the following season, you played all season, and that was the year we got to the Scottish Cup final. Can you remember much about the games that took you to the Scottish Cup final?
Yeah, now the ones that stick most in the memory, actually I haven't thought about this, but the semi-final down at Hampden, first of all, when we didn't play particularly well, we're down 1-0, and then Big Craig scored an equaliser. So that was right, we kind of dodged a bullet there. Everything's going to be okay, and then we go to Aberdeen to play the replay against up there against Inverness, and I didn't go to plan either. Went to extra time, and I remember I made a save in extra time from Richie. So I made a save there, and we went up the park and scored, and went to the final. So that's what I remember most. I can't remember much about the earlier rounds of run.
One of the games was we played against Clyde, and the game was abandoned because of the weather.
Yeah, I remember that game actually now. Yes. Yeah, I remember being back on the bus after that one, but it was horrendous weather. In fact, was that the third round? Because this time of year, and we were I think we got there and thought, is this going to go ahead? Is this going to go ahead? And it did, and it shouldn't have. Especially there because it was open Broadwood, the wind coming down with the snow and whatnot.
Yeah, that's right. So what can you remember about the cup final? Because when you were with Aberdeen, you played. You were in the squad, I think, for the League Cup final.
Yeah.
So you actually played in the Scottish Cup final. So what was that like?
Well, it's the highlight of my career, without doubt. We went into it quite confident. I mean, we had, I'm not sure if it was that season, we'd just beaten Celtic at Celtic Park. The day they were unfurling the league flag, and I think we beat them 3-2, 2-1, something like that. Anyway. But we were confident getting into it, and we kind of were nervous. From my point of view, I made a save early on, settled me down. We were confident at the back. We scored just before half time, and we're comfortable at that. But what I do remember is at half time we're 1-0 up, and we're in the dressing room, and I got a sense that not enough of us believed that we could go on and win this. And so you try and amongst you try to get that regenerate that belief that we should be 1-0 up and we should be coming in here afterward with the cup sitting on that table kind of thing. But we went out and we started well, and then we got a corner came in, Bobo Baldi goes up and knocks it away with his hand, no penalty. When was one of the old firm last down 1-0 in the cup final and had a penalty awarded against him? Probably a long time. So from Baldi knocking it down with his hand, no penalty, they come up the park and Larson scores the equaliser, then they scored again, and that was that. So very, very disappointing day.
But it was the first time that Dunfermline had been in a cup final for about 30 odd years, so it generated a whole load of fans there, and the atmosphere must have been brilliant.
Well, that was the thing as well. The crowd was, the Dunfermline support was unbelievable. I know we had going out, and the whole of the West Stand at Hampden covered in black and white and all the way around. It's just getting a bit tingly up the back thinking about it now. It was incredible. Amazing support that day.
And that season we finished 4th, which was the highest we've ever been in the Premier League. But also Jimmy Calderwood left at the end of that season, and there was rumours that you were going to leave as well, but you stayed on for another season. Yeah, no,
I had spoken to Jimmy. It was interesting because I was talking about, I can't remember what we were talking about, and I think it was about a new contract. I says, well, what if you're not here? I've invested, coming here, believing in what the project is and where we're going, and what if you're off? to someone like Aberdeen, I remember saying to him. And of course Jimmy was very professional. I said, no, nothing like that's happening. But no, I mean, we were, Aberdeen at that time were probably, you know, bottom of the table, that kind of area. And I'd been at Aberdeen, of course, started my career there, and at that time we'd just been in the cup final, we'd finished 4th. This was the best place to come and work. You know, every day you're turning up, and we just had a result on the Saturday. It was wonderful. So no, I didn't really think about that. I thought, and I was in Scotland squads, and this was, I thought we were up at the top to stay up at the top.
And of course the next season was totally different.
Yeah.
Because with the new manager come in, David Hay, and results didn't go the way, and we were ending up towards the bottom, and then Leishman took over, and we managed to survive relegation. I
mean, we lost down at Livingston, I think, with 4 games to go, and that seemed to be that. And we're having conversations of what's going to happen. We're really in a mess here. How are we going to get? And it was more or less the same bunch of players. But yeah, Jim came in, and the guys responded to that. We got a result, and then we beat Dundee out there 6-0. And that, you know, they almost still managed to make a backside of it down at Kilmarnock on the last day, but yeah, we managed to dig deep and survive for only for another year or two, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then you went, I mean, what did you think that the difference was? Was it because the same players were there? And
I don't think, I mean, it was the 2 Jimmies, it wasn't just Jimmy Conroy, it was the 2 Jimmies. They were always going to be a difficult act to follow. Davy Hay's experience is unquestionable, and everyone without question respected him. I just think it could only have been a bit of deflation from you know, our mentors, our leaders leaving us. I can only put it down to that. You're not thinking that at the time. Thinking back, that's all I could suggest it might have been. No one was thinking that, and I think, you know, we went up to Aberdeen and you know, got results against them, so that was never an issue. So couldn't put my finger on it at the time. Certainly couldn't.
Obviously you played with the likes of Skerla at the back, and you know, various other players like Scott Wilson, Scott Thompson, and were there any particular characters in the squad at that time?
There was a lot of characters in the squad.
Are there any stories you can tell us about?
I don't think there's any stories I can tell you, no. I think when I came, there was about 4 or 5 of us all joined at the same time, and we went to New Zealand and then to via the States and straight to Holland. So we had 3 and a bit weeks together. So we just gelled instantly. Or by the end of that, we were quite a tight unit. And so, you know, you felt you'd been with everyone for a long time at the end of that, and that just carried on through the time here. It was a great, people talk about it, cliche, but it was a great bunch of guys. You know, lots of different characters, and you know, Nipper Thompson was the guy who led all that forward. Always room for a joke, but everyone took the serious side of it too. But it was a good dressing room, a good bunch. We got on well, and but when Saturday came, we knew our jobs as well.
Yeah. And then when you left us, you went to Dundee United, then you went down south as well, to Gillingham. So now we hear that you have passed your exams, because you were studying at the time when you were here, weren't you, as a lawyer? I was,
that was. So I was toward, well, probably the mid part of my studies at that point. And I just kept that going. It was always my intention to do that. So I went to United, spent a couple of years there, and then I'd finished my degree by then, and I was going to go and do law school down in London, and so that was going to be me finished. And then when I was down there, Gillingham got in touch and said, can I come and help them? And I said, well, not really, because I've got law school every day, and they accommodated that. So I spent the last year of my career at Gillingham, which was great. Went straight from, my last game was at Elland Road against Leeds United, which was a great place to finish your playing career. And from there I went straight into legal practice down in the city, London, and was there for about 8 years and came back up north in May.
So, is it better being a lawyer than a footballer?
Oof, gosh. I don't don't know. That's a difficult question. No, definitely no. I don't think it is. Two very different things, and I have no regrets because I feel I had my time, and I'm now doing something very different. But having spoken the last 10 minutes with you and thinking about all the things we did and cup finals and big games, no, legal practice doesn't quite cut it.
How do you look back on your time at Dunfermline finally?
I mean, I played for Aberdeen, Wigan, Dunfermline, Dundee United and Gillingham, and people say, what did you enjoy best? Aberdeen was a great ground, and I learnt so much there, and it set me up to have a career in football. I was most successful here. I was in the Scotland squad. We got to the cup final. We finished 4th, Dunfermline's highest position other than the Stein time. So I look back most fondly with my time at Dunfermline. I think that's fair to say. I had good times everywhere else, and all for different reasons, but I was definitely most successful as a player at Dunfermline.
Well, that's great, and it's lovely to hear from you again, Derek. And hope you enjoy the game today.
I'm sure I will, and hope it's a good result. That's all.
Thank you for speaking to us.
You're very welcome. Thank you for asking me along.